You're welcome to my channel, Mindset Academy, where we want to solve the problem that is displayed at the left hand side of the screen. And the question that back up this problem says a view of a drilling template is shown in figure 3. Copy this view full size, constructing the centers from the 6 mm diameter and 8 mm diameter holes, right? So what we were told to do here is to redraw what we've seen. But mind you, you must um, construct the centers for the 6 mm diameter and 8 mm diameter hole that is displayed there. That is what they are making us understand. So let us take this bit by bit. So the first thing you do when you see a question like this, right? Especially when you involve a circle, you draw your center lines. So I can push this from here to be my center line, any given line of your choice. So we have, let me see, a long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, just like that. You end with long. Then you do the horizontal one too. This way, we have long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, just like we. Hope you can see that. So the outer diameter that is given in this diagram here, you can see it from here. That is 150. So when you see this shape like that, you see a circle with a slash on it, it means diameter, and it's 150. So for you to draw a circle, you need half of the diameter, and that is called the radius. So I'm going to measure 75, which is half of the diameter. So from 0 to 75, can you see that? This is half of diameter. Now place at the center. Since that is thickened, I'm going to thicken this. Are we there? You're going to what? Thicken this. Should be very visible. Right. So that is the first thing we did here. Now the second thing is, let's first of all construct all the angles that is there. So the first angle, remember very well that this vertical line here is representing my 90 degree. Are you with me? The horizontal here representing my what? 0 degree. Here, so we are taking 0 to 90, and this point here, let's see, is my 180. Here is what? 270. So the first thing I want to construct is 67 and a half. So how can I construct 67 and a half? This is what I'm going to do. Take your compass. I'm not using my protractor, just your compass, because the question says we should construct. So when I place it at the center point here, I'm going to strike an arc this way. Can you see that? So where the arc meets here, let me just call it point P. With the same radius without cutting it, I will now place it at point P. I will now strike another arc this way. Can you see that? So that arc I strike, that arc is given to be what? 60 degree. So I'm going to just bring out the 60 degree out from that side. Can you see that? Just faint line first. So this is 60 degree. So that meaning that between here and here is what? Is 90. Is 30. So if I bisect 30 with the same measurement, I can increase it if I want to. The same measurement here, I'm going to have I will bisect, placing it at this where this arc intersect this 90 degree line, and when it intersect here also, I'm going to what? Going to strike an arc. So where they meet, That is another one again to pass through the center point here, going through this center here. Now let's do this. Can you see that? So after that, so then it means that this is, we're looking for what, 67 and a half, right? So this is the 60. This is, if you bisect 60, this is 75. Now bisect these two again, right? So I'll come here, I'll bisect where it intersects here again. I hope you can see that with the same radius. I can just place it here. I'll strike an arc. I'll place it back here also. I'll strike another arc. So it is meeting at this point. So that point it meets, that is my 67 and a half. So I will now draw my center line at that point. This way, let me use this. So I'll now draw my center line at that point. So this will be long, short, long, short, long, short, long. So that line you see, that is what I actually need. So this arc you see, you can just put it there that from this part here, from here to this point here, as you can see from the diagram, from here to here is what? 67 and a half. Now we are looking for the next point, which is 33 3/4, right? So what you need to understand is, if you look at the special angles that we have 90, we have 30, we have 45, and we have 60. And 33 3/4, right, is in between 30 degrees and 45 degrees. So I have to construct 30 and 45. So just look at what I'll do. With the same thing I did here, I want to construct, first thing I want to construct what? 30 first of all, right? So with the first thing I did here, so you should have it in mind that this is always our reference point. We're taking reference, this is our baseline. So meaning that here will be our 0, and here will be what? Our 90. Are you with me now? So let's move and see. So in constructing, I place it here with the same thing I did here. Remember, I have this here. Can you see that? So with the same measurement, I'll place it here, right? So place it here. I'll strike an arc. Can you see that? So when I strike the arc, meaning that this point is 60. So I'll just draw my line across that point, 60. Faint line. So that means from here to here is 90, right? And once you remove 60, without even being told, if you remove this side, look larger. So this side here is what? 60. Remaining here is how many? Is 30, because 30 plus 60 will give us what? 90. So now what I'm actually looking for is 33 3/4, right? So the next thing I'm going to do is for me to construct my 45 degree. And we know that is easier. Where this meets here is what I always construct my 45 degree. Just take your compass, place it at this point, strike an arc, place it at this point also, strike another arc. I'm talking about this vertical and horizontal line. So if I should draw this out, faint line, this is my what? My 45 degree, and this is what? My 30 degree, right? And what do you notice? The angle between 45 and 30 is 15, because 45 minus 30 is 15, right? So I'm going to bisect it again. So when I place it here this way, to bisect 15, I'll have 7.5. So I'll place it here. I will strike an arc. I'll place it at this point also. I will strike another arc. So they are meeting at this point. So I'll draw a line, faint line that will go through that point. Can you see that? So it means you bisect 15 degree, you're having the angle here. This first half is 7.5. This next half is another 7.5. We're moving towards this side. So that means if I now bisect these two lines here, because 7.5 bisect means dividing by 2, and 7.5 or 7.5 divided by 2 give us what? That'll give us 3.75, right? So I'll bisect that. So once I bisect that, I'll have this from this point. If I place it here again, I'll check an arc, and I'll place it here too. I'll check another arc, and they are meeting at the center point here. So when I put it this way, I will now draw my angle. Just hidden line, long, center line, short, long, short, long. Can you see that? So meaning that the angle from this point to this point, from this point to this point is what? Is 33, 3/4. That's the angle from here to here. Can you see that? So that is the next line that we have. Now the next one we have again is 7.5. Altogether is what? 7.5, and it's placed somewhere around here. So you can easily not stress yourself. We know very well that the angle between here and here is 60, just like I told you earlier. When you divide here is 60. So if you bisect 60, you have 30. So let's bisect it. So I'll place it where this arc cuts this vertical line. I'll strike an arc. Where it cuts here also, I'll strike another arc, and I'm going to bring it out this way. Faint line, right? So once I've done that, meaning that the angle between here to here is 30, and from here to here is also what? Is 30, right? So I'm not going to bisect 30 to get 15. So I'll still place it here. I'll strike an arc. I'll come here also. I'll strike another arc, and it's meeting here, right? So this is 15. Faint line again, right? So since I bisect 30, I have 15. So here is 15, here is 15. And when you divide 15 by 2, you have 7.5. You just place it here, you strike an arc, and you place it here, you strike another arc. So you see that they are meeting here. So that is my 7.5. So I'll just draw long, short, long, short, long, short, and long. Can you see that? Now the next one is we have 52.5. So the angle 52.5. So what I am going to simply do here to get that 52.5 is as simple as this. I'm going to take my instrument, meaning that is at reference to this side. So here's my baseline. So I'll take my instrument. 52.5 falls between 60 and 45. So I need to get 60. So in getting 60, I'll just do the same thing from here. Just get an arc this way. Hope you can see what I'm showing you. And with the same measurement, you place it here and you strike an arc. And you draw a line to go through that point. Faint line first. Right? So after you've done that, meaning that the angle between here to here is what? Is 60. Then you now bisect 45. So with the same measurement, or you just extend it a little bit, you place it at the same point, you strike an arc. Place at the same point, you strike another arc. So where two of them meet, you give it to be what? 45. So I'll strike another arc this way, faint line. So meaning that this here is 45 and this here is what? 60. And when you subtract 45 from 60, you have what? 15. And when you by say 15, you have 7.5. Just reduce it a little bit. You place it here. If you want to really see your bisection, you place it here. Alright. You strike an arc. And you place it here also, you strike another arc. So you can see the bisection clearly here. So you draw your line, that will be what you need. So it will now be your center line. Long, short, long, short, long. Right? So it means that the angle from this point to this point is giving us what? 52.5. Because when you add 45 plus 7.5 to give you what? 52.5. So that's what we have here. So now the next step, after you've successfully done that, the next thing you do is now start drawing the PCD, and the PCD is given to be 110. So half of the PCD is what? 55. PCD means P circle diameter, so you just take half of it, 55, right? And you place it here, and you strike an arc, just that way. From here you can see long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. Center lines, short, long, short, then long. That is what we have. Now, where this line intersects, you can see this point here. This is intersecting here. And this is intersecting here. So that will be the center of the circle that I want to draw. So let's start. And the circle has a diameter of 8, right? So I'll now measure half of 8, which is 4. Can you see that? Half of 8 is 4. So I'll be putting it at those points where it's the two lines meet. And I'm going to draw this. Come to the next one here. Then here also. Then the next center line here too. Then the next one here too. Hope you can see that. So these are the 5 circles on the PCD. Another one at the center here. And that has a diameter of 20, meaning the radius is what? Is 10. So I'll use 10. Now place it here. Now draw this, which I'm going to thicken. Hope you can see that. And the next one here is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 circles that is on the same line. So from the center here, I am going to measure 40 upward. So from here, I'll measure 40 upward. So from 0, This is 40 here. Then I'll draw an horizontal line across that point in this manner. Then I'll now measure 6 millimeter away from the point backward. Right? I'm going to measure 6 millimeter away backward, as you can see, from 0 to 6. Then I'll now measure 46 from that point, from 0 to 46. Yeah. Hope you can see that. So that is where I'm going to place my, between the distance from here to here is where I'll place my circles. Now, if 6 of the circles here has a diameter of what? Of 6, right? Then they are distributed along a length of 46. If you move this, the 6 circles times 6 is what? 36. Now, if you subtract 36 from 46, you are left with what? 10. It means that each of the circles, the space between each other is what? Is 2. So what I will do from the first point here, I will be measuring 2 millimeter apart. So from here, I'll first of all draw my circle. It's very small, but I have to just do that. So I'll measure my first circle, which is 3, so small. So it means that, let's say this is it here. 3 is very, very, very small. I mean, if I come here, if I draw a circle, sorry, this is the first circle. So from this first circle to the next circumference is 2 millimeter. So I'm going to measure another 2. Can start from 1. So I'll measure 0, 0, 1, 2. This is 2 here. So from this other point again, I'll measure another center line. That means from that point, I'll take the same radius of 3. I'll place it there and I'll mark to get the center of that circle, which is this. Then I'll draw another circle. You can see that. Then I'll come again from that same point again. From the end of the circumference here, I'll place it again. I'll mark again. I'm starting from 1. So the 1 is 0, so this is 1 to 2 millimeter again. So they are all 2 millimeter apart. So from that same point to the same radius again, I'll place it here. I'll mark again. So come here, then I'm going to have this. I'll come again from here. I'll do the same thing. This is 2. I'll place it here. I'll mark. I'll come here. I'll do the same thing. That is what I'll do for everything I have here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean another one. From here, I'll do the same thing again from the end of circumference, starting from 1. This is 1 here. This is 2 millimeter. So from that 2, I'll come again, place my compass there. I'll mark to get the center. Come to the center, and I'll draw another circle. Circle is very small, so you have to be very careful. Then the last but not the least, I'll come again, measure 1 again. This is 2, and I'll come here. I'll do the same thing. Sit here, mark. So from this point, I'm going to have this. So you see that it is evenly distributed. This is the 6 circles that we have that is evenly distributed along that point. So we are done with what we are told to do. So you just do your dimensioning. So if you found the video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and also share the video. Thanks for watching.